with his chest out.
The P.O. Dixon. Now, P.O. Dixon will continue to break down how he believes the boys murdered Nolan Wells, and he ain't saying not one allegedly. He's saying this with his chest poked out. And because I haven't seen any cease and desist towards P.O. Dixon, I thought it was needed for us to react to this.
So they dropped everybody off. Then they went back out to the island that the GPS doesn't show, but they did because they disconnected it. Okay? And none of them had their phones with them when they went back. So there wasn't any trace of them going back. And they dumped the body. They came.
If the request was at 10:30, they go and they pick him up and they bring him back to Horn Island. And at 12:40, Smith launched their first drone flight. When the F did Captain Bill Freeman get the information to go and talk to Laney? He was out on Horn Island doing drone stuff. Gee, how would Captain Freeman of NDMR suddenly have new information while he's trying to do drone stuff? Oh, yeah.
We rode out to the islands and we were met by a DMR. There was seven DMR boats already out there, DMR and park rangers. We talked to them. We gave them all of our information.
GS Peter Donald, I'm back with another video, chat. What's going on with y'all, man? How y'all doing, man? I want to get into this Nolan Wells content, man. It's been real crazy. This whole Nolan Wells situation, man. Let's get into this content, man. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Hold on, chat. Shout out Poetic Flacco for the content. Y'all see the caption. White man just exposed Nolan Wells was killed by his friends. Let's see what's going on, chat. Let's see what's going on. Shout out Poetic Flacco for this content. Shout out YouTube for the platform. Thank you so much for letting me use your platform. It's just Peter Donnie. You know what's going on, man. Like, comment, subscribe. And y'all make sure y'all hype this video, man.
This older white guy who knows a lot about boats is going viral for his video breaking down how he believes Nolan Wells was killed.
So here's what happened. They killed Nolan Wells on the boat. They covered him up with the life jackets. They all knew he was on the boat. They just laid him on the back of the boat and got towed in part of the way. Then they got their boat running and they got on in. And when they got in, they couldn't figure out where they were going to put him or what they were going to do.
This just confirmed to me the boys filing that lawsuit against Al Sharpton was completely clout chasing. P.O. Dixon ain't saying not one allegedly. P.O. Dixon got his chest poked out. The video is making his rounds, it's going viral. We didn't see a cease and desist yet. P.O. ain't get a cease and desist. So isn't it odd that they will go after Al Sharpton, who never said the boys' names, never said they did anything? All he said was, this is odd and we need answers, but they're suing Al Sharpton. They're putting out statements on Al Sharpton. They're going above and beyond when it comes to Al Sharpton, but they're not going after people like P.O. Dixon. Why? I wonder why. Like, what's the difference? What's the difference here? Al Sharpton ain't say their names. Al Sharpton ain't point no accusations towards their way, but they're still going after Al Sharpton, but they ain't going after.
Hey, I was saying the same thing. Like, why are they going after Al Sharpton when he ain't even said the boys' names? Like, that was just preposterous to me. Like, I'm perplexed. Like, this is crazy, bro. And now this guy is saying something, and ain't nobody sent him a cease and desist or, oh, yeah, defamation of character. No, nothing. And like Flacco said, he talking with his chest out. With his chest out.
The P.O. Dixon. Now, P.O. Dixon will continue to break down how he believes the boys murdered Nolan Wells, and he ain't saying not one allegedly. He's saying this with his chest poked out. And because I haven't seen any cease and desist towards P.O. Dixon, I thought it was needed for us to react to this.
So they dropped everybody off. Then they went back out to the island that the GPS doesn't show, but they did because they disconnected it. Okay? And none of them had their phones with them when they went back. So there wasn't any trace of them going back. And they dumped the body. They came back, took the boat out of the water, then went over there at 3 a.m. and washed the boat, thinking washing the boat would get all the DNA and everything off the boat. That's what they did. Now, I'm telling you, the stories are unbelievable at this point. You can't make this up. You know, first, it was about leaving the island. Well, that one blew up. Found out two people were at the island, saw him. Then the Coast Guard, Coast Guard call, CETO call. Nolan, oh my God, Nolan.
This is a perfect example why those interviews the boys are doing with Officer Tatum is hurting them more than it's helping. It's really, really, really hurting them. I'm sure P.O. Dixon was probably on the fence. Like, I'm sure he was probably somebody who was on the fence, just observing, you know, trying to be neutral, trying to hear out all sides. Then those boys did those interviews, and he heard their response to the CETO call. He heard their response to certain evidence, and he heard how their response just absolutely made zero sense. In my opinion, this is what he probably heard and saw. And it completely changed his perspective from being just this neutral arbitrator to now his perspective is, okay, yeah, y'all doing something sketchy. Because those interviews, when you listen to those interviews, because I watched every part, and we watched it on stream together, those interviews made those boys look crazy. It just made them look crazy. It didn't make sense. Even when they were telling the story of them being attacked or confronted in a restaurant, Warren told the story, and then immediately after, I think it was Jax who told the story. Warren and Jack's story were completely contradictory. It made no sense. So if they couldn't even tell the same story or be on the same page for something they experienced a week before the interview, then what makes us think that they would be like telling the truth or consistent with this Nolan Wells thing that took place a month and a half ago? Or when you hear the boys say they cooperated with officials, they talked to officials, they told officials everything they knew, and then reports come out of certain statements that was made to officials, and the reports, it's essentially them giving names of people that said, I don't got no clue where Nolan was. I wasn't even on the island. And we have to sit back like, damn, okay, like y'all giving the investigators and the officials names of people who weren't even on the island from what the reports is, then how confident can we be that y'all did everything in your power to locate Nolan?
Sometimes after you gather so much data, it's really beneficial to go back to the very beginning.
Hey, I got it. That's crazy. They keep deleting her pages. I've been looking for her. Okay. Yeah, nerdy pink. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. She got the real news, man, that you could use.
Of the investigation and reread things and look at them through new eyes. And boy, did I find something. From the beginning, one thing that has always bothered me was why Lainey's name? Why was this girl Lainey, the person that is included in this report? Why is she the only one that we get a name for? Because by noon on July 5th, these boys and a couple others had spoken to the cops about Nolan. Let's face it wasn't until the next morning that the investigation really seemed to begin. At 11:55 is when Captain William Freeman called Master Sergeant Jacob Strickland, telling them to locate and interview Lainey. I'm going to circle back to that in just a second, and suddenly it hit me. At 9 a.m., the Lieutenant Colonel requested drone assistance from Captain Freeman as part of the search and rescue. He was picked up by the lieutenant, traveled by vessel to Horn Island, and approximately 10 a.m., he attempted 3 launches with his drone. But all 3 of those were not successful because it was a software issue. It was unable to be repaired in the field. So then approximately 10:30, Freeman requested Senior Master Sergeant Chase Smith to report to duty with additional drones. So then Freeman and Kasnovich picked Smith up and transported him to Horn Island. So if the request was at 10:30, they go and they pick him up and they bring him back to Horn Island. And at 12:40, Smith launched their first drone flight. When the F did Captain Bill Freeman get the information to go and talk to Lainey? He was out on Horn Island doing drone stuff. Gee, how would Captain Freeman of MDMR suddenly have new information while he's trying to do drone stuff? Oh yeah.
We rode out to the islands and we were met by DMR. There was 7 DMR boats already out there, DMR and park rangers. We talked to them, we gave them all of our information. They personally asked if any of us were on the boat with him that day. We told them yes. They just said, all right, well, we got the area scoped out. And then after that, we just went up to the beach. I think we met up with y'all.
So in their own words, Morgan said he was on the boat with Wyatt and Trayston's girlfriend. They talked to MDMR and gave them information about Nolan. Let's not forget.
When they all did the interview with Officer Tatum, they all said the last person they seen Nolan with was Katie. Tristan said it, everybody said it, right? The last person they seen Nolan with was Katie. But in the report, the girl that the officials was told to contact was a girl named Lainey, who apparently was on like Bucks Island or some other island, who wasn't even on Horn Island. Why would they misdirect officials in this fashion? And by they, I don't know who told the officials this. I don't know which one of the friends told the officials this. My best guess is Tristan, but I don't know who told the officials this. I'm gonna let Jay Marie tell you who she believes told the officials that Lainey was the last person seen with Nolan.
Get that first drone flight was in the wrong spot. Now, mind you, what time did Trayston wake up that day to help search?
From 9:45 to 11:50, 12 o'clock era, about lunchtime. While we were on the water, we talked to a rescue guy.
Oh, 11:50 you say? At about 11:50? You mean 5 fucking minutes before this phone call happened? Oh, but let's take a moment. Let's take a moment to see the exact words that are used in this report. Received a call from Captain William Freeman to locate and interview a female subject that was possibly involved with the missing person on Horn Island. Wait a minute. Trayston gave them Lainey's name despite knowing the last person he was seen with was Katie.
Officer Tatum, lawyers, attorneys, fans, they would listen to people break down exactly why they don't believe the boys, Tristan and others, and then they would literally watch her break down strategically, methodically. They said this, they said this, they said this. This contradicts what they said. Katie was the last person we seen him with. Katie was the last person we seen him with. He was cut up with Katie. Hey, bro, if y'all want to find Nolan, go look at Lainey, huh? Why was there misdirection? See, it doesn't make sense. But they would literally listen to people give their train of thought that's logical and then say defamation. At this point, I just don't understand. But it's things like this that's leading to P.L. Dixon and others to come to this conclusion because they got to use their own discernment because they can't trust anything that comes out of the mouth of those boys.
Get up. They heard that. Can't make it up. Not making it up. Then there was the phone, Warren's phone. Now, this. And also, last night, we have a bunch of body experts of their body movements in their interviews that they were not telling the truth. That they're body experts. They moved their eyes like that, or moved like that, or, they looked up, or, something. But I'm telling you, the authorities should use these TikTok creators to solve this case.
PL sounds like he got some common sense, a lot more common sense than the people who are actually in charge, than the people with actual power over this case. Like, for example, the Mississippi Attorney General, she literally came out to take questions in regards to this Nolan case, which I don't know why these people continue to make themselves available to answer questions. And then they sit down, wear the makeup, turn on the camera to essentially not answer questions and make excuses and double speak. So the Mississippi Attorney General literally did not have to do this, but she decided to come on camera to address the Nolan Wells case without addressing the Nolan Wells case and making excuses and double speaking and not taking accountability whatsoever.
And as it relates to the Nolan Wells investigation, we're nearly 2 months into the investigation. We still don't have a resolution. This case is still garnering widespread national attention. We know you made some remarks recently about concerns about people making threats against law enforcement. What do you think needs to happen? Does there need to be some resolution at some point soon to this investigation so that you can allay the fears of people who have questions about a cover-up or authorities on the Gulf Coast not coming clean and letting the public know the truth about what happened, whatever that is?
It's horrific and sad when we lose any of our individuals here in Mississippi. And yes, absolutely, we'll be protective if people are being threatened or any harm that might be coming their way. That's certainly what the role is, to protect them as well. But, that's an active investigation, and I know they're going through the normal course that they always do with the DA's office and the investigation there.
Should your office take a role in it, given that this is such a high-profile case?
Well, we always adhere to our locals first, and so certainly they're doing their job. They're going through the process, and when the time comes, I guess we will all find out the information.
Why even do an interview? Like, why even present yourself to do this interview? I don't why even do the interview? Clearly and obviously, you're not there to answer questions. You're there to do damage control or PR. Nothing about what these people are doing screams they're doing their job. Nothing about it at all, right? Nothing about this screams, oh yeah, they're doing their jobs. Like, I'm sorry. Even the people that we used to give credit to, like, for example, the Cajun Navy, I used to, really hold a dear spot for the Cajun Navy in my heart. I completely lost respect for the Cajun Navy once, that dude did the Officer Tatum interview, and during the interview, he began to pout and whine and complain that apparently he can't text a married woman anymore. This dude began to pout and complain and blame Benjamin Crump for why he don't have access to a married woman anymore, to why he can't text her at all hours of the day and get a response back. And I'm like, sir, what is going on in that town, bro? Why do everybody have this hard on for that family? Why are the officials not holding themselves accountable?
And from my observation, it seems like when the attorney Benjamin Crump and others got involved, it seemed to turn more in a activist political direction than just the generic direction of, hey, a community coming together to find Nolan. Now, that is my opinion. Now, you had a closer experience in this because you were in communication with Ms. Christine and all of the above. What is your take on how this has played out since the very first time you got involved?
I don't necessarily disagree with your opinion. Okay. I've seen the communications with Christine and her family dwindle down after the hiring or onboarding of Mr. Crump. Now, again, I want to make sure that everybody understands I'm going to give the family the respective space that they need. And I will send them motivational messages. Just today I sent one, hey, Miss Christine, I know today's a tough day. It's your son's birthday. Just know that I'm here for you. 110% if you need a shoulder to cry on, somebody to call, whatever it is, I'm here. Got to thank you, which is all I expected. But what I did was watch lengthy communications turn into emojis or the little heart and then thank yous. And it's fine. It's the natural progression of the way the relationship was. But I do feel that outside influence has something to do with it, without a doubt. And that's my opinion. Right. So it's unfortunate, a young man lost his life.
That was really off-putting to me, bro. Sir, the first week, maybe a couple of days when, again, these were two grieving parents, they didn't really have much resources, never lost a kid before. They probably needed your help because you kind of knew certain things about how the process worked. But once they brought in what I believe is, the power team, once they actually brought in people who are experts, who know exactly how this process goes, what else other than, oh, thank you, like the messages, thank you for reaching out, thank you, oh my God, we appreciate it. What more do you want? Why are you trying to dialogue? Why are you trying to have these long, drawn-out conversations with a married woman? She got representatives now, man, okay? If you want to reach her, contact her husband, contact Benjamin Crump, bro. But to go on Tatum's show, read out messages, and then try to present it as if, man, listen, man, she switched up on me. Man, I don't like that at all, bro. But y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about these? All right, what do y'all think, okay? If you're still watching and you want to watch.
GSP to Donnie, you know what's going on, man. You can like, comment, subscribe, and we're going to keep good vibes, man. And you know the slogan. At the end of the day got in, man.